What did you look at from the scrimmage as far as looking at it and evaluating it moving forward?
I was really pleased with some of the things that we saw. Saw some of the young guys that I think we can work with. Just I think we got a little bit deeper as far as developing our talent, specifically the young guys. But overall, I thought it was good practices so far. Good spring game. I think we're on track on where we want as far as the coaching staff and what our goals are for where we're at right now. I think we're right where we need to be.
Did you spend a lot of time breaking down, looking at it, or was it more of technique? Let's just take a few things and move on.
A lot of it. I mean, there's towards the end, I think it was hard for the old linemen because they're really tired. But I think it's good for those guys to power through some of this stuff and tough it out a little bit. But overall, the technique was really good. I think our focus has been the fundamentals and technique this spring, and I definitely see a huge improvement from day one to the spring game. And we have 2 more practices to get ready for our opponents, and then get a good jump start into the off-season conditioning this spring and summer.
You spent doing the pretty basic defense that you did as far as the cover 2, basic stuff. How did you feel like the secondary did? Because that puts some pressure on them as far as not having a lot of blitzes and a lot of pressure, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I thought they did pretty good. I mean, you're looking at the pass rush was pretty good, and we had not a lot of balls going deep on us, and so the corners did well. I think Gennaro and I think Ed's doing a great job with the defensive backfield, coaching them up. And I thought pass rush wise we would have been a lot better. I think our guys, we had to put some guys in different spots, and we didn't play some of our best pass rushers, but we'll be okay. Overall, I'm not really concerned about it. I want to see how some of these young DBs would respond. I thought they did a really good job.
Behind the scenes, you had a junior day going on, a lot of recruits here. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that and maybe the message you're trying to convey to these guys?
I just wanted them to be around our players and be around the program. I think that's said it before, it's a highlight of our school, is that being involved with people and then seeing the fans. The excitement about the spring game, I think, was huge for our recruits to be in that position. But more than anything, I wanted to meet the players, meet the coaches, and meet the people involved. And I thought we accomplished that. Recruiting is always a major deal what we do here, and I thought it was a good weekend.
You mentioned pass rushing. Who are some of the top pass rushers that you feel after evaluating these guys for a month?
Kalani Sitake can pass rush, so can Tomasi can. Harvey and Fred, those guys are great blitzing. And I thought Tui Tamola did some really good things as a D-tackle. We still know we have Travis Tuzoma and Logan Toele that are ready to go. And we'll add Handsome Tanya as well. So I think when we get all those guys in the mix, I thought Sai did some really good things as a pass rusher too. So I know I'm leaving some guys out probably, but we have enough in the mix to work with.
How are your interior linemen acclimating to the pass rush and maybe the new front? How are they doing?
They're doing well. I mean, I think more than anything, it's just a lot of them getting. I mean, most of the guys here were getting significant reps that they wouldn't see if we had healthier D tackles right now. So I think they're taking advantage of all the reps that they're getting. But Steve's doing a great job with working with the D linemen, and it's a defense that he's really familiar with. So I think it's just a change. As far as what we're asking them to do, I think it plays more to what they're suited. Dominating a gap and being able to help out and squeeze the run play out. So I thought they did some really good things, and I'm not really concerned about the D line at all.
On that note, you kind of talked a little bit Saturday about how deep the run game was with the running backs in particular, guys like Trey and KJ, and then did that kind of stick out to you again as you rewatched it?
Yeah, I mean, Jamal had a great day today. Jamal's a great player, so him and Algie, that's a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns that they can produce. So we know that what they can do is we just want to see how Trey and Squally and KJ, those guys perform, and I thought they did some good things, but we got a good group of running backs, and never know, Francis can come run the ball once in a while too, so it's a good squad.
Coach, you're going to turn these guys off or turn them loose in a while, and there's some voluntary and some mandatory things that can be done during the summer, but what would you hope would be done individually and by your leadership in the off season to get together on their own and to work out? What's your philosophy? What you think will happen?
Well, I know that they'll do everything that we think they're going to do. But as far as working out, voluntary, mandatory, I think that the leadership on the team is already taking form. And so I imagine these guys will work hard during the off season when they're supposed to. They got tons of leaders that can lead the way. And so I'm not really concerned about it. I think that from what I'm expecting, I just know that they'll be able to take care of the off-season conditioning and handle it well. I know Nuu's really excited to get them in the weight room. We're excited to get them stronger and bigger and faster. So that's going to be the goal, and we'll get ready. We'll be a lot different looking by the time the fall comes around. We'll be in better shape for a game type situation.
Is there anybody that stood out that has transformed themselves under your new conditioning coach?
If you look at the linemen, they're all a lot bigger than they did last year. So I think, for the most part, I think most of the guys on the team have more muscle mass than they did in the past, and that's what we're trying to do. And that's one thing that we noticed we need to improve on, is get them bigger. And they got great frames and they got great work ethic, and so we'll work on getting them bigger and stronger and faster. And we're still in the process of that. And I mentioned it before. We lifted 6 times a week in spring ball. And that's what we needed to do, And so that's. I anticipate that they're gonna be ready to roll by the time we get to the fall. But I'm looking forward to the off-season conditioning, and I know these guys. If you look at the players, they're anticipating and anxious to get to that phase as well.
In general, Kalani, what have you discovered about your team this spring?
Generally, we're on track. I'm pleased with how well everybody's adapting to what we're asking them to do. I mentioned it before, and I feel comfortable with our coaching staff's demanding from our players. I feel comfortable with how they're responding. So going into it and then finishing up this last week, I think we're right on track where we need to be.
Anything else?
Sounds good, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Coach.